Every country on the planet wants to do one thing really well: turn research into actual economic value. But the big question is always, how do you do that systematically and at a massive scale? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the machinery inside China's tech market, a really powerful state-designed system that was engineered to solve exactly that problem. This really is the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? It's what keeps innovators and policymakers up at night all over the world. You can have the best universities and the smartest labs, but if those brilliant discoveries just sit on a shelf and don't become commercial products, they're not going to move the economic needle. China's approach to this is fascinating. On one hand, it's deeply bureaucratic, but as we're about to see, it's also a surprisingly effective tool for shaping the entire market.
So let's start with a number, and this is a market signal you probably never seen on a Bloomberg terminal. Forget about VC funding or IPOs for just a second. This number, over 6 trillion yuan, represents the annual value of China's registered technology contracts. Think of it as this massive, hidden indicator that measures the commercial speed of technology as it moves from the person who created it to the person who's going to use it, and it's all built around one key framework.
And that framework is the technology contract. Now I know, it sounds a little dry, but stick with me because this is literally the central gear in the entire innovation machine. It's the official, legally recognized tool for basically every single act of tech commercialization in the country.
So what exactly is this from a market perspective? Well, a technology contract is the official piece of paper that formalizes the sale of an idea. So whether it's a university licensing a new patent to a startup, or a big firm paying a smaller one to develop custom software, this is the document that makes that deal legible, legally valid, and this is the most important part, trackable by the state. And when you look at how they break these contracts down, you start to see the bigger picture. The government has created this detailed taxonomy of innovation. By sorting every deal into one of these 5 buckets, from developing something brand new to providing a technical service, they're not just keeping records. They're creating a standardized, measurable language for the entire tech market. And that allows for some really precise analysis and, later on, intervention.
Okay, so you might be wondering, why would any company voluntarily go through all this formal paperwork? The answer is simple: there are huge financial incentives. These contracts are way more than just red tape. Registering one is the key that unlocks a whole system of benefits, and it effectively turns national policy into a direct driver of the market.
This really shows you the core give and get of the whole system. The government offers some pretty significant tax breaks to both sides of a technology deal. So the sellers, the innovators, can get major exemptions on things like value-added tax and corporate income tax. And at the same time, the buyers get to claim an enhanced R&D expense deduction, which makes it cheaper for them to adopt new tech. This system is designed to fuel both supply and demand.
And here's the kicker. To get those benefits, registration is not optional. This official rule basically creates a mandatory gateway. If you want the tax breaks, the credits, or the cash rewards for your researchers, your contract must be officially registered and validated. There's no way around it. And that simple requirement ensures that pretty much every important technology deal in the entire country gets captured as a data point. And this is where all the pieces really come together. This whole system, the contracts, the registration, the incentives, it's not just about handing out tax breaks. What it actually does is create a closed-loop mechanism that allows the government to measure, analyze, and strategically steer its entire technology market. If you follow the life cycle, you can see the system's real purpose. An innovation happens, a commercial deal gets signed, and the second that contract is registered to claim the incentives, boom, it becomes a data point. All of this data then feeds into a national-level dashboard, giving the state real-time intelligence on what's happening in the market. So what you have essentially is a massive feedback loop. It acts like a real-time barometer for the tech economy, showing which technologies are getting adopted and in which industries. That data then becomes a steering tool. It helps policymakers see what's working, where they should maybe double down on investment, and how to tweak their national R&D strategy based on actual market signals, not just guesswork.
So when you zoom out, you start to see that this isn't just about bureaucracy. It's really policy as a product. It's like a carefully engineered piece of social machinery that was designed to produce one specific outcome: innovation at scale.
The ultimate takeaway here is that China has effectively built an industrial-scale policy product. It takes the whole process of innovation, which is often messy and unpredictable, and channels it into a measured, incentivized, and highly visible pipeline. It's a very systematic way of managing and speeding up that journey from the lab to the marketplace. And that leaves us with a pretty provocative question for the rest of the world. As technology becomes the main driver of economic competition, this system shows one way to actively shape and guide that market. It forces us to ask, what's the right balance between free market discovery and a state-guided strategy when we're talking about building the future?